Welcome as we continue our study of Colossians in chapter 2, verse 8. Watch that there not be one robbing you through philosophy and empty deceit, according to the tradition of men, according to the elements of the world, and not according to Christ. So, watch or see is from blipo, which just means to see or discern. Robbing is sulagogio. Sure. Which really comes from suleo, which is to steal or rob, and ago, which is to lead off or lead. So really, you put that together, and you have sort of to carry off booty, to carry away or steal something or someone. So in this instance, it is to carry you away or steal you away from God. So philosophy is philosophia, and so this is the word that this is where we get the word philosophy in English. And philosophy is not necessarily it's not necessarily bad in today's world, though you do have to be careful. I mean, there's a lot of Christian fundamentals that are part of today's philosophies, but that's not always the case. So you still have to be very careful with it. In ancient Greece, generally speaking, it was considered bad because it was anti-Christian at the time, and there were a lot of outside influences that were part of that. So again, there's a warning. It still applies today. So we do want to be careful with philosophy, that you're looking at it from the lens that Christ would look at it from. Empty is kinos, and it means empty or vain, devoid of truth. And then deceit is apate, which is deceit or deceitfulness. So it's very straightforward. Elements is stoichion, and so this is where we get the word stoic as far as describing a person. It's also where we get stoichiometry, which is sort of that adding up fundamental elements to determine a reaction. And so really it's talking about any fundamental principles for any subject. So particularly here, it's the fundamental principles of the world and how the world governs and its influences. Not according to Christ. There's a comparison, it's a negative comparison between following Christ and following the philosophy and fundamental principles of the world, and how the world and men of the world conduct things. So being careful to not be led astray by those things, and that's important in today's world, where you have some very fundamental differences amongst people, and so and their beliefs, and so quite often we are, as Christians, we are criticized by our about our faith and about the things that the morals that we think are important. So being careful not to be led astray by what the world says we should believe, and that's what Paul's really talking about here.